Guys, what's up, everybody? We are here live at Spectrum Center here in Charlotte, North Carolina, where we're going to do a joint conference or post-game conference. This is Vashti of Carolina Blitz, and as you all know me, Quierra of the Plug, and we are post-game after the UNC versus Lipscomb game, where UNC won 84-66 in the first round. So, Vashti, what are your thoughts on the game?
I thought the Tar Heels started off pretty slow, and then you thought that it was actually going to be a game at the beginning. Yeah. I said, okay, Lipscomb has something here. They might challenge the Tar Heels, and then all of a sudden, 12-1 run to end the first half, and it was lights out at that point. Yeah. When your best player, Lipscomb's best player, Garrison Matthews, he scored 39 points in their win over Florida Gulf Coast in the Atlantic Sun Championship. He averaged 22 points a game. He only had 8 points today. 8 points and 3 points in the second half. So when your best player has that type of game, you're not going to win against a team like North Carolina.
Right. And what did you think about their bigs? I mean, they're big. Did you think they matched up pretty well? Right, yeah.
For a mid-major, they were decent. And some of their bigs had some, went one-on-one with Luke May. And I'm like, okay, take it to him.
Who was the guy that got cut in the eye by
that was
Marbury.
Marbury.
Yeah. I actually liked him.
He wasn't bad. Yeah. And Lipscomb came out very confident.
They did.
And Quierra and I saw him in the pre-game interview yesterday. They were just a confident team. They just didn't shoot well enough. And do you think that was more UNC's defense or just a bad shooting night?
I think a little bit of both. I don't think UNC. I'm in between on if this was UNC's best game. I don't think it was. I think they played well coming out transitions. I think UNC played to their best ability. Kenny Williams is just wet every time he touches the ball. But I think Lipscomb just got nervous. I think being behind is hard to catch up, and then you make mistakes, and then you once that mistakes happen, you can't really come back from those mistakes. And once you're down at a certain point, it's hard to chip back in. So I think that's what it was.
I tweeted something similar. I tweeted if I'm Roy, I'm cool with it, but I'm not happy with it.
Right.
I think Carolina had maybe 20, 22 turnovers. I think that Lipscomb had 20 points off of those turnovers. Now, most of that happened during the first half, but the next round, Carolina's going to play Texas A&M.
That's not going to be easy.
You can't have 20 turnovers
and expect to win. They have a 6'10" forward and a 6'10" center, and they're monsters. They're a little bit slower, granted, but they're huge. They're huge.
They are, and they aren't small guys. And I was talking to a guy on press row, and I was like, "This isn't the first time that North Carolina has seen two bigs.
Right?
They beat Duke twice with Bagley and Carter, but these bigs are big. These aren't
Texas
freshmen.
Big, yeah.
How? I don't have the stats, but I don't think they're freshmen. I think they're one is a
50.
sophomore and one is a junior, I think, something like that.
You got that.
But these are big guys that are going to. Luke May is going to have his hands full.
Oh, absolutely. So is Garrison Brooks, who is great off the ball. He is a good defensive player. He is relentless in the paint, and I love that about him. Also, Manley has stepped up too, which I've loved. And I love how coach has been limiting their minutes and playing off of each other so that when they're in a switch, you really don't know who's in because they almost play exactly the same. I love that coach has instilled that. But it was a decent win for UNC. They started off rocky as usual.
You're right.
I think.
Tell them what coach did.
I asked coach a question. I said, UNC, it's not even since the tournament, throughout the season, they're very slow coming out. They have a hard time getting a groove together. It's always maybe 6 minutes left in the quarter, but they start to finally click. And I asked coach, I said, how do you plan on combating that throughout the tournament? And he started talking about James Worthy in 1982, and I don't think he grasped what I was kind of asking him.
Yeah.
I think he was talking about.
Yeah, I think that he thought that she was saying that they got to a slow start in this tournament as far as games and struggling early in the tournament. That's never been a problem, but they have clearly had a problem with starting slow early on in games.
Absolutely. They were 14-0 in the first 7 minutes in the ACC tournament. So there's something within the first couple of minutes that they're lacking, and I don't know what coach plans to do about it. He didn't tell me. So UNC fans have to suffer.
You play against the wrong team, and they're going to make you pay for that slow start. So I thought that was a legitimate question. And guess what I think? I think you should re-ask that question.
I am tomorrow. Yeah.
Tomorrow. And make sure, because that's a good question, and that's a legitimate question, because this tournament, like Coach was saying, is one and done. And these players are playing with a sense of urgency, a sense of just reckless abandon, because if you don't win, you go home. And you start off with 14, giving another team 14 unanswered points, you're going to be right at home. Theo Pinson and Joel Berry going to be crying in the line, and it's going to be a wrap. So, And
I thought Lipscomb had this game, to be all honest with you. The way they came out with such determination, heart, and energy.
Did you really think that they had a chance?
I mean, look, UNC lost to Wofford. So, look.
But Wofford played
any given Sunday.
Wofford played almost a perfect game. You have to, when you're a team like that, you have to play almost a perfect game to beat a team like Carolina.
Right.
And I just don't think they started off. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But then after about
I agree with you. After about 6 minutes left of the half. You kind of saw UNC. They finally got their wits in Charlotte.
Yeah. It was like, so let's liken this to a race.
Right.
I did track in college, so I'm going to like this analogy. I don't know if y'all do, but we run in the 400, right?
Right.
400. One team, you got a athlete or a runner who starts off quick out the blocks, and they're hitting it, and they're leading, and they hit that 200 mark, and they hit that brick wall. And that team that kind of started off a little bit slow and then kind of hits it at 200, maybe that 200, 300 mark and finishes it, is the team that wins. And that's kind of how I think that this game here played. Like, UNC was kind of slow out of the blocks. And then Lipscomb, who started off fast, hit that brick wall, and it was a wrap. But it's going to be interesting to see what this Tar Heel team does as they progress in the tournament. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy.
It's not. Who's taking tomorrow? What's the score tomorrow?
That's tough.
It is.
I don't know. I actually thought Providence would have given the Tar Heels kind of tougher matchup issues. I thought that maybe Providence versus North Carolina would have been a better game. I feel like, I don't know. I don't know what type of transition team Texas A&M is. I don't know if they like to run. I know their bigs aren't, from what I saw in the game today, they aren't that fast. So that fast-paced game may tire them out. And if Carolina is able to get out in transition and run the ball and run Texas A&M in the ground, I don't think it'll be a close game. Now, if Texas A&M maybe they play more of a half-court game. I need to watch them more, but if they play more of a half-court game and take UNC out of that fast-paced game, then I think that they have a chance.
Okay. Well, UNC is 12-0 here in Charlotte, and Coach thinks that he hopes that tomorrow is 13-0. Tomorrow's game will be announced later on tonight. We don't have an exact
morning or evening.
I'm hoping for a morning game because I'm ready to come back to Raleigh. Your girl wants to get back in her own bed, but I'm hoping for an early game. But it's a Carolina game, and I'm sure this is going to be this is the game people want to see.
So it'll be late. It'll probably be a late game.
They're not going to pick Carolina Duke.
They're going to make us stay here until 1 in the morning.
Sounds about right. Yeah, so we will announce later on tonight what time UNC plays Texas A&M. Up next is Creighton versus
Kansas State.
And Virginia versus
Maryland something. UMBC.
Yeah.
I don't know. Those should be.
Yeah.
I don't know about that Kansas State and Creighton, but UVA should be a walk in the park.
It should be, even without their star player.
I have a quick question. It is kind of tournament related. I saw a tweet, and I tweeted it yesterday, that somebody said that if LeBron was in the NCAA, if LeBron played, you saw that? If LeBron was on a 16th seed team, could he take that team? A 16th seed has never beaten a number 1 seed. a 16 seed with LeBron on it, could they beat a number one
Which
seed?
LeBron are we dealing with? Are we dealing with LeBron now, or are we dealing with the younger LeBron?
I don't know. Did you see that dunk from yesterday?
I
LeBron
did.
Still got the juice.
He does.
LeBron still got the. I'll take whatever. LeBron now. I mean,
LeBron now would take everybody.
LeBron. Somebody was like,
He can play by himself.
KP, I'm gonna shout you out. He was in my. He sent me a message and was like, "So you think that LeBron would be able to take North Carolina Central to the national championship?" I was like, "You never know."
LeBron can play every position. That's the best thing about him. There is not a position he can't touch. And I think that's how he makes his team better. I think he can fill a certain role that a team lacks and make them better. So, especially with Central, I think he could. I think his passion is infectious, and I think that's what makes his teams winners. Is how can you lose with someone like that on your team? You feel inferior because it's like I have to match his level, and so you're going to do everything you can to match LeBron, which is going to make you a better player. And I think that's what LeBron notices. If I play at a high level, it's going to make everyone else around me feel like they have to play at a higher level, which is going to bring out their best game, and we'll win games.
I think at a minimum they would be the number one seed.
Yeah,
I think that Central versus UVA with LeBron on the squad, even like a LeBron out of high school on the squad.
absolutely.
I'm thinking that I'm picking Central. Anyway, that was
Toquito.
Is it Toquito? Correct me. He had a decent tournament and left, and then now I don't know.
I think Cam stays. I think Cam is more sensible than Toquito.
Is it Toquito?
I think.
I thought it was Toquito.
It might be Toquito.
Anyways, I'm pretty sure he helped me with at Home Depot last time I was there. Shout out. Thanks for helping me with that mulch, Tokuto. I'm sorry, that was a little shady. You should have never left. You should have stayed. Now we don't even know who you are and where you're at. But I think that Cam Johnson is gonna stay. Are those tears? I think Cam Johnson is gonna stay, and I think that honestly, without Cam Johnson, I don't know where this
I totally agree with you. They won't be anywhere.
Where it would be, and that was a good choice for him to leave and come to UNC from Pitt, and he's really even helping his draft stock. I think next year he may break the second round.
Right, and I actually hope that he kind of. I don't know if there's any good players left on that Pitt squad that has 8 people trying to leave their school, but he may be a recruiting effort for Coach Williams as well, as far as Pitt's concerned. I don't know if Pitt's gonna have a team next year, but
what's going on with them?
8 people are transferring. They went out. Wow. Yeah, I think their coach got fired. I think. Don't quote me. I think they did.
I think he did.
Yeah, so 8 players want to transfer. Yeah,
wow.
It is rough. So I think he stays. But yeah, that clears the how can Cam Johnson come back if he's in his grad year. So there you go. He has another year left. So that is it for the UNC Lipscomb post-game wrap-up with Vashti Hurt of Keep Listen, of Carolina Blitz.
Keep Listen is kind of like my hashtag.
And Quierra Luck of the Plug. We will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to do a press conference review tomorrow. Or
press a review. We'll do something.
Something tomorrow.
Quierra's getting me out of my comfort zone.
I think she's great on camera.
I don't do video, guys, so we'll see. But thanks.
Yeah. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Right.